Rogue Stinger Hive detected. System curtailed. Extraction called for. Extraction called. Who is returning to base? Detected. Extraction called for. Extraction helo almost. Rogue Stinger Hive detected. Now detecting. Incoming cargo plane with dark zone drop. Rogue explosive seeker mine detected.
He must be inspecting me now. Yeah, he was.
Rogue Stinger Hive detected. Rogue agent eliminated. Returning to base. Now detecting contaminated gear. Rogue Stinger Hive detected.
Dude!
Now detecting contaminated gear. Contaminated
Fuck
gear
you.
detected.
What's up, agents? Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. Today's video is going to be the anti-meta build. I've been working on this for the last week. That is why I haven't really been uploading too many videos. I really wanted to make sure that this build was up to scratch and it works and is the best combination that I could possibly find. I tried a whole bunch of different things and I finally come to a conclusion that these two talents work so well together and it helps to mitigate so many different types of metas in the game. You might be asking yourself, what is the current meta? Well, there are a couple of things, especially, being that I play primarily on PC. I used to play on console, but not anymore. So on PC, concussion AR builds with Unbreakable are running rampant. This build will counter that. Ridgeway's Pride with Lady Death or Sadist Gun with Wicked on the backpack is very strong as well. Adrenaline Rush, Intimidate, that's also very powerful. And the pistol shield build with, well, the 1-tap, 2-tap with the big giant shield that lasts so long with huge amounts of health, that's also running rampant. And I'm sure from what I've seen on console, I've watched a few people streaming console, that seems to be the case, especially Spotter Vigilance AR builds. But something like that will still always beam you from longer ranges. So that's probably the build that could counter this. That's the only one that I did struggle to go up against. But everything else, I rush in and I just out DPS them. So let's go through the specialization, then we will go through the build in detail. So, firewall specialization. I've gone for this for a couple of reasons, primarily being the shield, the striker shield, which through percentage-based incremental modifications we can put on each slot on the shield will give us quite a bit of damage. The damage increase is significant, especially in PvP, and it is worth going for. Then, the armor kit from this specialization is second to none. It is just too good. 200% armor and 200% health over 10 seconds. It's just too powerful for PvP. I have gone for shotgun and SMG. Now, you can use a sniper rifle, as you saw from the gameplay. I like to swap between the sniper and the SMG, or an SMG and a shotgun. And you can do 1 million damage in PvE with this build with 1.5 million armor, and you absolutely shred. With my SMG, I can hit players for 130,000 per shot, which is ridiculous. And in PvE, it's going to be hitting for something like 700 to 800,000 with a very high RPM rate. So let's go through the pieces. Now, to be honest, you can go through everything else here. Just make sure it is all activated and make sure you do put the striker shield on your build. This is going to be the build, guys. The whole idea of this was to mitigate the bleed, because here's the thing. When you're fighting a Ridgeway's Pride build, you get caught up with that bleed, you cannot strafe. With this build, it's perfect because you swap weapons. All you have to do is swap your weapon, and then you get 55% weapon damage, which is ridiculously good. It is a lot of damage. With a combination of measured, it mitigates the measured damage drop-off quite significantly, and we can hit huge numbers. Now, on paper, it doesn't seem like that much, if you compare it to an Adrenaline Rush Lady Death build, but this will out DPS it, especially because of how we have combined it. So, Ridgeway's Pride, concussion and breakable builds get absolutely shredded as long as you can get up close. Now, from range, this can also work. Actually, what I said before, the spotter vigilance builds, they are always difficult to mitigate. But if you saw in the gameplay, I can hit 1.8 million a shot in PvP with my sniper when I swap, because we're still getting that 35% increase from versatile. So there are many ways that we can mitigate builds in this game, and I have tested this countless times. I've 1v1 people in the Dark Zone for the last couple of days, and with great succession. Now obviously, there are different situational builds that could kill you. You might not be potent against a player who knows how to utilize his build. I'm not saying this is the best build in the game. What I'm saying is this works very well in countering the current metas going on within the game. And if you do give this a try, I'm sure you will agree with me. I really want you guys to try this out. 1.5 million armor. You can even go more. You can go all blues if possible. But I would not go less than 1.3 mil. If you want a DPS, go for 6 reds. You'll absolutely shred people, but you need to be very careful. The shotgun 2 taps people. The SMG bursts them down. And the great thing about the gun that we're using is that when you put 1 mag out, it equates to the amount of time that you need to wait before you can swap. So with Gunslinger, guys, weapon swapping, it works. It's versatile as well. When we swap a weapon, it increases our total weapon damage by 20% for 5 seconds. This buff is lost for 5 seconds if your weapon swap while it's active. So all you have to do is pay attention to this, because there will be 2 little bars. A bar with the picture of the gun that's got the buff active, and this. The thing is though, if you have a picture of, for example, the shotgun up, you don't have to worry. All you have to do is watch this icon right here, this Gunslinger, and then that's when you can swap. It works great because it's the amount of time to reload your weapon a lot of the time. So you reload and you just swap to your shotgun and 1-tap somebody. It is a very mechanical playstyle, but it's very satisfying. Unbelievably satisfying. Especially when you hit a sticky bomb, you swap to your SMG and you burst the guy down. It's one of the most satisfying combinations in the game. So we get it for 5 seconds. Do not swap while this is activated. Now, because all we have to do is 1 mechanical movement, there's no situational damage here. We swap again, we also get Versatile, which lasts for 10 seconds. Amplifies total weapon damage for 10 seconds when swapping between your primary and secondary weapons if they are different. So pay attention, you cannot actually use the same 2 weapons, otherwise I probably would have gone for 2 SMGs. So 35% to enemies within 50 meters. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't think this is an accurate representation of the damage. I am feeling like we are doing so much more damage than what is indicated here. But like I said, I'm not going to bother too much what's on paper. Practice is always going to be better than what's on paper. So pay attention here, because you will not get that much utility from using LMGs or assault rifles. That's why I went with SMG shotgun or SMG marksman rifles. It works great. Right, so at most per 5 seconds per weapon type. At most once per 5 seconds, so just remember that as well. So let's have a look at the pieces now. Actually, let's start with the gun. So with this weapon right here, you don't have to use the apartment. If you cannot acquire this weapon from the Dark Zone, just give it a try. Give something else a try with Measured on, because Measured is so misunderstood in the community. What I'm going to tell you guys right now is Measured is not really good with builds that don't have a lot of damage. Now, the thing is, with this build, you would arguably say, well, 1.5 million armor, your damage output is not going to be that great. But here's where it gets interesting. So let's take a look at it. We've got damage targets out of cover, very important. Perfectly measured. The top half of your magazine has 20% rate of fire, which is really, really insanely powerful. That's more than the Striker 3-piece. And 27% weapon damage, minus 27. So we are getting 55% weapon damage just from the 2 talents alone. So that completely mitigates this. So that's why it works so incredibly well. The bottom half of the mag has a minus 20% rate of fire and a 33% total weapon damage, which is crazy, guys. An additional 33. It's just ridiculous. We're hitting so hard with this. So give it a try. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. Now, with regards to modifications, make sure you do acquire this 21 magazine, 9mm extended. Go farm control points. Crit chance, crit chance. We need to make sure we get as close to crit chance as possible. The maxed out cap, which is 60%. Military M870 is what I use for the secondary, just to finish them off. If I put a mag of this gun into someone, I don't care how much armor you have, you will die if I hit my shots. If I hit my headshots, you'll die in half a mag, with any kind of amount of armor you have on your build, even 2.2 million. But with the M870, if I need to finish you off, I swap, and then I get that 55% weapon damage, and then if I pull up my shield, it's an additional 30%. You are going to die. You will go bye-bye when I shoot you with this gun to finish you off. That's why it works so incredibly well. Another thing to take note of, guys, is here's the thing. When you're fighting someone who has the Ridgeway's Pride, they have to put you on the bleed. You can use the booster hive as well to mitigate that. Also, Adrenaline Rush and Lady Death, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a cooldown of 5 seconds. So if I take off your bonus armor and you are using the Adrenaline Rush Lady Death build, you lose both talents. Both of your talents are completely gone. That's why the damage from this, I think, definitely beats that build. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Unbreakable is very powerful, but because the damage, the burst damage, you burst him down, you get rid of his Unbreakable, then you swap to your shotgun, and then you finish them off 2-tap, 1 or 2 taps. So it works incredibly well with all of these builds going around, and I really think you need to give this a try. So crit chance, again, some of the modifications may differ. Rate of fire, you can choose reload speed if you would like to. It's completely up to you guys, or if you want to hit headshots, go for that as well. So pistol, whatever you would like. So the idea is to get some crit damage. We've got the 2-piece Sokolov, 1-piece Grupo, Yield Faithful, and the Cheska, which, by the way, is not really necessary for a build like this. You don't have to. It's just to increase my crit chance for my shotgun, because it's difficult to get crit chance because it doesn't roll natively like it does on an SMG and the second core attribute. So with modifications, I've gone for all critical hit damage modifications. Everything you want to go for is crit chance and crit damage. I think the only place where I'm kind of incorrect is going to be my Contractors gloves, which has unfortunately headshot damage, but it doesn't matter because I do try aim for the head as well when I can. So Sokolov mask, SMG damage and crit damage for the 2-piece. Crit chance, crit damage, armor, very nice. Chest piece, Cheska, gunslinger, we spoke about this already. Crit chance, crit damage, weapon damage. Then the holster, Grupo, which gives us the 15% critical hit damage. I think our crit damage is just over 177%, which is significant considering the amount of weapon damage and survivability we have from the 1.5 million armor and the amount of buffs that we're getting from our talents. Crit damage, crit chance, armor. I really want to try and optimize this build to the best of my ability because I really do enjoy it. The backpack, Sokolov, the 2nd piece here. Crit damage, headshot damage as well there. I would rather have crit chance, but I have got the crit chance cap as well, so it doesn't really matter too much. Make sure you give it versatile a try. The gloves, Contractors, headshot damage. This 8% damage to armor is a must-have, guys. It's just best in slot. If you don't want to use these 2 pieces, you can go for something else. Maybe 2-piece Walker and Harris if you really want to. I wouldn't recommend that. You could even go for Providence to get more headshot damage, or something else possibly. It's really, really up to you what you would like to go for. Maybe even some hazard protection, because if you put 1 more Cheska and 1 more of the Yol gear, you can have a 20% increase in hazard protection. So there's many ways that you can go with this. Fox's Prayer, there are some at Casa Mendoza if I'm not mistaken. These ones are actually at Casa Mendoza right now with critical hit damage. Go and buy them as we speak. Link will be in the description for my Casa Mendoza video, and at the end of the video, just click the box. So damage toss out of cover is obviously very important, but the skills, just as important, especially these days on PC. If you guys don't know, the EMP sticky is very strong. It puts you on disruption and it staggers you, and if you stagger someone, if you hit someone with this, it's cheesy, but you kill them, especially with the amount of bleed builds going on with shield. The shield builds, this is going to be your best friend, so I do recommend using it. Put whatever modifications you have. When modifying the shield, make sure you guys do put this damage bonus right here for the striker shield and shield health modifications there. When you see a beam of light in front of you, that means wherever the person is in that beam of light, you will be getting a significant amount of damage increase. Let's have a look. It should tell us right now. So if we go into it right now, guys, it does say PvP damage taken modifier. That's how squishy the shield is, but it doesn't really tell you how much damage you do get. Damage per enemy is 11%. In PvP, it's not 11%. There's some sort of modifier, but it could be with relation to this. I'm not entirely sure, but it does give you a significant amount of damage increased on top of everything else. Weapon damage, it could be even melee damage. It gives you damage increase too, so important to use that. Statistics, this is where the build shines, I think. Normally, statistics on paper, in practice, it doesn't mean one or the other, which one's better. So over here, if you take a look, I've got 172% crit damage. On paper, that's decent. But because we have so much, value from our armor and our weapon damage through the buffs, that it does counter that, even though I know you can get over 200. But bear in mind, 2 of my rolls, which could have given us another 24%, which could give us almost 200% crit damage if you can just make sure that you don't roll headshot damage on some of your pieces like I have. 8% armor damage. You can pause the video if you want to have a look through something else. Like I said before, there's too much weapon damage going on here. You need to just give it a try and then let me know what you guys think. I love this build. Honestly, if I want to take something from this, I really want to tell you guys that this is one of the best ways to counter it, and that's the thing. People don't realize how much damage you have with this. The combination is also not only strong, but fun to play with. I genuinely had a good time mechanically playing with this build. It's really fun, and it allows you to watch what's happening with your buffs, time everything, and it is a fun playstyle and very powerful against the current metas. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, click that notification bell, follow me on Twitch. Links will all be in the description if you guys want to get some merchandise, and I'll be seeing everybody very soon in the next video. Peace out, guys.